Overnight, new legal pressure on former President Trump and his family as an investigation into his organization's finances adds a criminal element. The New York Attorney General's office informing the Trump Organization that its investigation into the company is no longer purely civil in nature, saying in a statement, "We are now actively investigating the Trump Organization in a criminal capacity, along with a Manhattan DA." While a civil probe can result in lawsuits or fines, a criminal one can mean potential charges. The added muscle in his home state bringing extra pressure on the former president. The already sweeping criminal probe by Cyrus Vance, the New York DA, has looked into whether the Trump Organization misled leaders and insurance companies, whether it paid appropriate taxes. The DA examining documents including Trump's tax returns. The increased scrutiny coming at a time when Mr. Trump is already back in the public eye at the center of a fierce GOP debate over the January 6th Capitol riots. The House's top Republican Kevin McCarthy announcing his opposition to a proposal for a bipartisan commission on the Capitol attacks ahead of a key vote today, even though that proposal got several key concessions Republicans wanted. Other Republicans argue the proposed commission should also examine the involvement of Black Lives Matter and Antifa in protests last year. Ousted party leader Liz Cheney told Savannah last week the commission should not be watered down.
I think that kind of intense, narrow focus threatens people in my party who may have been playing a role they should not have been playing.
Again, that House vote is expected later today for a commission that would be modeled after the panel that investigated the 9/11 attacks. The former president, President Trump, overnight calling on Republicans to reject the proposal, attacking it as what he said was a Democrat trap. But it would be evenly divided between Democrats and Republicans would have veto power over witness subpoenas. Those are the key concessions that they wanted. Speaker Pelosi accusing Republicans of cowardice for not wanting to find out the truth. Savannah?
Can we go, Peter, back to the Attorney General's announcement about that investigation turning into a criminal one? Yeah. What do you expect to happen next? What kind of timeline do you expect?
Yeah, so the Manhattan DA has said that the statute of limitations for bringing charges against the Trump Organization could expire soon. And his term, by the way, Cy Vance's term, ends at the end of this year. So if either or both of the prosecutors in this case find enough evidence that they think they can charge Mr. Trump or members of his family or his associates or the company itself, that would likely happen before the end of this year. For his part, the former president in the past has called these investigations politically motivated and a witch hunt. Savannah.
All right, Peter Alexander on Capitol Hill. Thank you, Peter.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.